Welcome to Study Time. In this video, we will discuss a critical analysis of Karl Marx's economic development theory. Karl Marx's theory of economic development stands as one of the most influential economic and political theories in history. His ideas, primarily outlined in Das Kapital, 1867, and the Communist Manifesto, 1848, provide a historical materialist perspective on economic progress and class struggle. Marx argues that capitalism, driven by profit motives and private ownership of the means of production, inevitably leads to crises, class conflict, and ultimately socialism and communism. This presentation critically examines Marx's economic development theory, focusing on its key concepts, strengths, weaknesses, and contemporary relevance.
Core tenets of Marx's economic development theory. 1. Historical materialism. Marx believed economic structures shape human history, proposing a materialist conception where changes in economic systems drive social and political change. He identified 5 stages: primitive communism, slave society, feudalism, capitalism, and socialism. Communism. 2. Class struggle and exploitation. Under capitalism, the bourgeoisie, owners of capital, exploit the proletariat, workers. The bourgeoisie owns the means of production, while the proletariat sells labor for wages. This exploitation creates inevitable conflicts that will eventually lead to capitalism's downfall. 3. Surplus value and capitalist crisis. Marx introduced surplus value as the difference between value workers create and wages received. This system leads to overproduction, falling profit rates, and worker alienation, which Marx believed would cause capitalism to collapse. Strengths of Marx's economic development theory. Explanation of class struggle and inequality. Marx accurately predicted that capitalism would create vast inequalities. Today's economic disparities, wage gaps, and corporate monopolies reflect his analysis of capitalist exploitation. Insights into economic crises. His ideas on overproduction and cyclical crises remain relevant. The 2008 financial crisis demonstrated how capitalist economies experience periodic instability due to profit-driven excesses. Influence on socialist movements. Marx's theory inspired communist revolutions and socialist policies worldwide. His critique of capitalism influenced labor rights, minimum wage laws, and welfare policies. Weaknesses and criticism of Marx's economic development theory. 1. Overemphasis on class struggle. Critics argue that Marx oversimplified social dynamics by reducing history to class struggle. Factors like culture, religion, and nationalism also influence historical development. 2. Failure to predict capitalism's adaptability. Marx expected capitalism to collapse, but it has evolved through reforms such as labor protections, social security, and regulated markets, mitigating some of the issues he highlighted. 3. Inefficiencies in socialist systems. Countries that implemented Marxist-inspired economies faced inefficiencies, authoritarianism, and economic stagnation. The lack of market competition led to reduced innovation and productivity. 4. Neglect of individual agency. Marx underestimated the role of individual innovation and entrepreneurship in economic development. Capitalism has enabled technological advancements and raised living standards globally. Contemporary relevance of Marx's theory. Growing wealth inequality. The richest 1% own a significant share of global wealth, reflecting Marx. Concerns about capital concentration. This growing disparity between rich and poor continues to validate aspects of his critique. Worker alienation in the gig economy. Many modern workers experience job insecurity and lack of control over their labor, mirroring Marx's idea of alienation. The gig economy has created new forms of precarious employment. Critiques of neoliberalism. Marxist analysis informs modern critiques of corporate power and economic globalization. However, pure Marxism has largely been abandoned in favor of mixed economies that balance capitalism with social protections. Conclusion. 1. Balance. Finding equilibrium between markets and equity. 2. Adaptation, learning from both Marxist critiques and capitalist innovations. 3. Enduring influence, shaping economic thought on exploitation and class. 4. Powerful critique, continuing relevance to inequality discussions. Marx's economic development theory provides a powerful critique of capitalism and remains influential in discussions on inequality and economic justice. While his prediction of capitalism's downfall has not materialized, his insights into exploitation, crises, and class struggle continue to shape economic thought. The challenge today is finding a balance between market efficiency and social equity, learning from both Marxist critiques and capitalist adaptations. That's all for today. If you found this helpful, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more study contents.